morning. Sorry about that. You know how it is. The life of a mum versus those without children, or people who have wives that can suppress children. This is the life of a mother. Mums come second in everything, right? Anyway, that's been one of my little fucking things lately. Everyone else comes first. Okay. So, I was driving my husband to get his colonoscopy this morning, and I was thinking that it might be an interesting kind of stream, right? To talk about how, what was so appealing about the internet to begin with, right? Was that the ability to just talk out loud when you're in a somewhat isolated situation. You can tell I'm a little bit rattled. Give me a few minutes. I'm just having a little bit of a fucking tantrum again because I can't seem to do anything without fucking interference. So anyway, okay. Anyway, so give me a sec. Just let me fucking calm down. I'm fucking annoyed and irritated that everything is fucking, I'm just not a priority. Anyway, so if anyone's struggling right now and seeing how different it is when men just say, okay, let's start. Let's do a little rant. Say, when men say you just need to try harder, okay? Men don't deal with that. Men don't deal with fucking kids coming in and fucking having to juggle everything and deal with this and deal with everyone's shit just in order to do their fucking stream that they've had scheduled. And you announce to everyone that you've scheduled it and that you're doing it, and they still just walk in fucking 2 minutes in when you're just about to go live and fucking just asking you stupid questions that can last. That can wait. I love you, but fuck me. Men don't go through this. When men say you just need to work harder, right? Fuck off, okay? Unless you're dealing with this stuff where you are constantly having to juggle these things, then you don't know what it's like, okay? It's not a matter of merit. It's just a matter of the fact that you need to now turn up and fucking have to deal with this, then get in the right headspace after being fucking rattled, right? Every successful man that I've ever seen in tech, right? I'm going to talk about tech for a minute. I was going to talk about something else, but I will move on. I will get there, but I'm let's just go there. Let's go there. These men in tech who turn around, every single one who starts a startup, right? They've always had a fucking mum at home that fucking deals with their kids, or they live with their parents, or they have no fucking things to juggle. Okay, so when people talk about women in tech or women being a startup and women in business, we're a woman in business on top of all the other shit. Okay, when men do it, it gets to be their only focus, their only thing that they focus, because everyone just sweeps up their shit, cleans up their socks, picks up their towels, fucking drives them around, fucking deals with their bullshit, right? Mum comes second, always. So, anyway. This is me and my fucking profession being crashed and fucking derailed by everybody else. And then when I get online, I get to deal with dick wavers that come onto my stream and start explaining my own fucking discipline to me as well. So that's really nice as well. Really fucking nice. Anyway, happy Monday, everybody. Fuck me. Men and boundaries of other people need to fucking learn some. Learn boundaries, other people's boundaries, and set boundaries. If you're a woman, say no to people. Fucking tell them off. And you're allowed to be angry and you're allowed to be frustrated. I was thinking about this the other day, right? That, this whole thing where I'm seen as less than, right, men, because I fucking am stuck in Perth, or I'm stuck, doing what I'm doing. And it's yeah, I'm doing it because it's all right for these men that can just move to another city and abandon their fucking kids. But if I want to prioritize my career, I'm fucking stuck here because I have to stay here. I have to prioritize things because I'm expected to, right? I can't just fuck off to Sydney. I can't just go on speaking tours. I can't just fuck off and do what I want. I can't just neglect everybody. All right? Because if I do make those choices, then I'm the world's biggest cunt. Right? Nobody judges, like, I'm just thinking about fucking, like these people that are touring musicians or touring speakers or, that sort of thinking that someone stuck in Perth or is less, or someone who's like stuck where they are or not as like successful as they are, that they just didn't try hard enough or that they're not smart enough or that whatever. And it's like, fuck off. I'm stuck here. Right? I'm stuck here. I'm juggling and I'm fucking doing a stream. So anyway. And I don't care if you love me, all right? I don't know who that is. I don't care. This is supposed to be my fucking job and no one gives a fuck. So anyway, okay? Now, bad ideas. I was thinking about this, right? This is the thing about social media that has really switched in the last 10 years. Which is this idea that you can't just fucking try our ideas out, right? That somehow, this is where I think marketing and corporation and corporate comms really started to fucking invade what used to be organic and fun and riffing, right? And this is something that I think that a lot of us need to reflect on, is this idea that somehow we need to treat ourselves as a brand rather than just as a fucking person, right? I'm not a fucking brand. I'm also a person. And it's okay to have a bad idea, right? I was driving to this morning and we were just chatting as you do, right? And we're driving through the city and I was having ideas. I was saying, oh, it'd be really nice to live in maybe an apartment, right? One of those big apartments where it's got the pool and everything's managed. There's a pool and a gym and all of that. And then I turned around and I said, no, that's a terrible idea. And it's often a funny thing that I do, right? Which is that I will say something and I'll try it out loud, and then I'll hear it and I'll think it through and I'll go, no, that's a bad idea, right? That's largely what social media used to be, which was this out loud thinking and this out loud processing. I'm somebody who I process out loud, right? Like that's why when I do my streams, I can't, if I'm rattled, right? Or I've got something to say, or you catch me in a certain mindset or a certain thing, or you catch me at a certain moment, I'll say one thing, and you catch me at a different moment and I'll say something else, right? Because I'm an out loud processor. I'm somebody who I'm incredibly annoying to work next to, but at the same time, I'm somebody who I talk things through, I speak it, I write it down, I process things, and I don't actually, especially when I'm writing, I may not understand how I feel about something fully until it's sort of out there in words, right? And I think that's where I think for those of you who are sort of new to the internet and were only on the internet when it became this sort of corporate fucking bullshit sanitized version that it is now, right? Which is that a lot of the people who were on the internet sort of from the 90s were drawn to it largely because you could have thought experiments, right? Your identity didn't matter, right? If anything, you were there to escape it. But you could share ideas, you could riff, right? It would get crazy, but it was all just understood that it was a thought experiment, right? And that's the thing. And this is where my frustration with a lot of this stuff around where do you think like good ideas come out of bad ideas? It's why brainstorming works. It's why mind mapping works. It's why improv comedy often works. It's why writers' rooms work the way they do when you're writing comedy. It's how writing teams work. It's how fucking everything works, except somehow the internet, where you're not allowed to put an idea out there unless it's done and finished and complete. Right? And even if it is done and finished and complete, some dumb fuck can just call you a cunt anyway. Right? But what I want to do is get you thinking about the idea that good ideas come out of bad ideas. So if you start killing bad ideas, you start getting, you kill a lot of potentially good ideas in the process. Right? That's it's how intelligence works. It's how we're wired. Right? And this is where I think Twitter has a role to play in allowing people to have bad ideas, back those bad ideas, right? I've been thinking about this a lot. First of all, because I'm writing my book, but also because I'm sort of at a crossroads in my career where I'm sitting there thinking, well, okay, I've been on this journey, right? And you can't, whether or not I sort of delete old content that I think is unpalatable, or I delete old content that doesn't necessarily put me in the best light, or, delete old content that could be like edited, taken out of context and all that sort of stuff, right? And the answer is no, fuck off. Because I want to document the journey, right? And that's part of I think the dilemma that I have, right? Which is that you can, like any situation where you're creative or being creative, you start by just throwing ideas out there or riffing or writing all of the things, right? The reason why I signed up to Twitter, right? It was 2000 and it was either 2007 or 2008. I can't remember. I think it was 2008. And the reason I signed up was because I saw an easy way, a great way to be like a head in a jar who just wrote jokes that was short form. It taught me how to be succinct, it taught me how to say silly things, and it was just being silly. And I would riff like my original tweet storms, right, of old. That account's deleted now, but I'm saying like a lot of that original stuff, it was just fucking thoughts, stupid water cooler, dumbass thoughts. And now Twitter has turned into, the internet used to be a place where we could just be ourselves, right? It used to be a place where we could, we weren't at work, right? Now I feel like I'm at fucking work all the time. And that someone, and even though I'm relatively free compared to other people, right? I feel like I've fucking being reported to HR by fucking Dwight Schrute 24/7. And surrounded by fucking every bad customer you could ever have, every annoying customer you could ever have, every fucking dumbass office gossip that you could ever fucking have, every stupid HR rep, every annoying fucking mansplainer that I've ever fucking come across, right? And like, it's just unpleasant. It's fucking unpleasant to be there. No one wants to be at work. The reason why I work for myself is because I don't want to deal with those cunts. And now all of our technology is geared around them. Like, what the fuck? Since when did the internet become the fucking HR department? Right? Human resources. If there's ever a fucking ridiculous name for a discipline, there it is. Human resources. Get fucked. They're the corporate police. That's what they are. And they're terrible people. HR people are awful people. You see humans as resources, you're a fuckhead. Anyway, so my point being, right? You have to, like, the internet and brainstorming ideas, right? Has to be free. It has to be free. You have to be allowed to make a bad joke. You have to be allowed to be like have a free thought. Okay? Any innovative workplace says that you must have freedom of thought, okay? Or freedom of expression. All right? To be able to do good work. Like, it's just like, I don't know how people have gotten away from this idea that somehow censoring bad ideas is at all going to create anything remotely fucking good, right? I don't know if in creative circles, there's a saying, right? That a camel is a horse designed by committee. And we are ending up with fucking camel. This fucking woke shit is the camel of philosophy, right? Is a horse designed by committee. It is fucking ridiculous. It is a corporate committee ideology, right? It is insane. Anyway. But like, I'm an external processor. I need to fucking just sit there. That's the thing. Like, you'll catch me on stream, you catch me in a bad mood, and I'll go off on a fucking rant that I don't mean. Right? Someone will fucking take my first like 5 minutes of this stream as an indication that I somehow fucking hate my life or my family. I don't. They give me the shits. Because sometimes they don't understand the fucking, like these dudes who don't understand the reality of what women who just have to try harder have to fucking deal with on a daily basis, which is the fact that you can't even fucking get 5 minutes to yourself to write a fucking book. while you're fucking having your ass, your skid marks cleaned up and fucking cooked for and kids taken care of and errands and school run and emotional labor. All of that's taken care of for you because you're busy writing your book now. You have a career, you have the right to a career and needs and desires, right? When you're a woman, your fucking desires and needs and everything else comes secondary to everything else. And if you make one fucking decision that is actually like selfish, such as, I want to have a career, you're fucking punished for the rest of your life for it. Right? That's the reality of this situation. So fucking hell, man. Jesus Christ. Grow up. Right? Anybody who sees who thinks they're an equal partner are full of themselves. They're full of shit. Right? Thank you. Oh, so Diane said, I've explained it better than you ever could. I'm freaking great, Taya. Thank you, Diane. See, Diane gets it, right? These fucking LinkedIn assholes with these childless fucks, right, who actually don't understand the reality of just trying to write a fucking book, right? If I don't have a book deal, the book becomes fucking 25th on my list of priorities. Right? In between fucking spot fires and fucking questions and fucking emotional labor and fucking, dealing with men's feelings at me 24/7 online every time I express a fucking opinion because God forbid a woman might actually fucking have one. And only to then be considered not credible because I haven't been able to do the shit that they are set up to be able to do. And I can't. It's like, for fuck's sake. Jesus fucking Christ. Only to have it used as a fucking, and this is why I think I'm kind of at a point where it's like, I've been meaning to do a bit about, it's called the credibility carrot. This is this corporate credibility carrot where I spent 20 years of my life thinking that if I just got a working class kid, right, working class woman, young mum, if I just got that degree, all right, I'd be taken seriously, right? If I just got that master's, I'd be taken seriously. If I was a good mum, I would fucking be respected. If I was a good wife and did everything the right way and everything if I got married and did all those things, people would respect me. If I fucking, it turns out people just don't respect women. It's a lie. So I'm just going to say whatever the fuck I want. All right? It's a fucking lie. No matter how many degrees you do, no matter how many smart things you say, no matter how many books you write, no matter how many fucking, you are just never going to be as good as a mediocre fucking dude who thinks that you should just work harder because his wife cleans his skitties. All right? Jesus fucking Christ. It's like my career happens around everything else. All right? These videos happen around my career. My book happens around the streams and my clients and my videos and all of the fucking other stuff, right? I'm stuck in a town because I have an ex who's a fucking prick, right? Who used my choice to choose my career as a weapon against me. Okay? This is the reality of it. No one fucking questions when men get divorced and fucking leave their kids and prioritize their careers, right? But if the woman fucking even sneezes in the direction of not fucking worshipping her children, this is where she ends up. 41, talking to fucking wonderful, but not many people on fucking YouTube. Because it's just their only outlet. And now I'm sitting here ranting because the actual topic of this video was bad ideas. And I would say that ranting about your fucking personal life right now and this situation and calling your ex a cunt on YouTube stream is probably not a good idea. But better ideas come out of it, which is some sort of analysis. But my point is, right, this is my point. Right, I got a bit derailed today. But fuck me, right? On top of all of this, I'm now not allowed to say what I want. So not only am I fucking I'm not allowed to have desires. Here we go, let's link it all together. Not only as a woman am I not allowed to have desires or wants outside of domestic life and children. If I'm not allowed to have a career, and if I do have a career, it's got to be a career that's acceptable to the men when they're fucking fragile states around me, right? And if I do get to that point, maybe where they might listen to me professionally, then I need to fucking soften my language and my tone to make sure that men don't feel fucking threatened by it, lest I be cast as negative. And then what I need to do is, in order to be even heard, I need to get a fucking PhD and 3 degrees in order for them to even fucking pay attention and not steal my shit. All right? Then, if I want to write a book on that topic, right, I need to fucking abandon my business or make other choices. I need to have there's a constant opportunity cost with being a woman who wants a career. Constantly. Right? That's just how this fucking life is. Right? And in between all of that, if I dare fucking, if I manage to get the degree and, do masters and study the thing and be a nice person and smooth it over in a way that men never have to fucking smooth it over, right? Sit on eggshells 24/7, right? If I think to defend my rights in any way, shape or form, now Twitter, YouTube, Facebook are all ganging up to make sure that they fucking police everything that I say as well. The internet used to be that one little bit of fucking freedom to think for myself and write some shit and express myself independent of all the other things that were going on in my life. On the internet, I was not a woman. On the internet, I wasn't fucking, whatever. Now I have to self-censor 24/7. And this is what happens. Is that one thing happens and I end up ranting in a really bad, stupid, silly way, right? But I'm having bad ideas, all right? I'm at an emotional level, but there's better shit that comes out of these things, right? And that's the thing, is that there's comedy out of this, or there's some analysis, or there's some theory, or some, people might actually connect with me and feel better because they relate to what I've got to say, right? There's a lot of women out there that are feeling the same way right now, which is like the last fucking thing that we get to ourselves is now being taken away. Right? So it's not just about freedom of expression. I tweeted about this the other day, which is that all these fucking culture wars dudes, they're fucking tweeting because they can't make a fucking joke. Yeah, well, we're tweeting and we're gender critical feminists are actually fighting for our right not to get punched in the back of the fucking head by a 6'2" dude in fucking contact sports. Like, how does that not indicate, like, the imbalance and fucking patriarchal bullshit with the culture wars, where most of these men aren't fighting for the right of women not to get punched in the fucking head? Right? They're fighting for their right to make whatever jokes they want to make. Fuck me. I'm fighting for my right to fucking be a fucking person outside of my fucking, like, I hate this shit. Sick of this shit, and I quit. I'm at a crossroads in my career, as I said. I fucking hate this shit. I've realized that it's all a big lie. No matter how hard you try, no matter how hard you work, you're still a woman. And you're still fucking not credible. And no matter how nice you are, or mean you are, or fucking competent you are, or smart you are always going to be fucking secondary, and you are always going to be not supported. You're always going to be seen as less than. And then when you do, and then the men will gaslight you into thinking that you're nobody special. The second that you try to actually put your neck out and assert yourself, right? This went in a different direction than I intended. But, like, fuck me. Now I can't even have fucking bad ideas. Right? That was the thing. We joined the internet so we could have fucking discussions and ideas independent of our identity. Now all we got to talk about is our fucking identity for it to matter. When did that fucking happen? I've spent my whole life trying to escape that shit and actually be considered on equal footing with a fucking mediocre dude with an opinion. Now, all I get is fucking based on my identity, how fucking incompetent I am because a mediocre dude with an opinion only sees my identity as well. It's like, oh, for fuck's sake. Fuck off, all of you. Oh, yeah. So anyway, use your Karening to your advantage. Someone quoted me the other day. And I said, basically, just assume that you know what I do? I use the fact that men think I'm an idiot to my advantage, and I use the fact that my children think I'm old and out of touch and stupid and senile to my advantage. I just fucking don't care. I just say what I want now. I don't care. Kill me. I don't care. Right? Don't kill me, but I'm saying, right? The thing is, when you kill someone's spirit, you've already killed them. You've killed their ability to speak. You've already fucking killed half of them anyway. So, anyway. I got fucking cold. I'm not tearing up. I've just got, hay fever. So, but fucking hell. Anyway, that was a bit ranty. I didn't intend it to be. I'm just saying, right? This idea that like somehow the internet was not always about having some sort of inner chat, the inner self. And now all these external forces have decided that we're not even allowed to fucking have a bad day or a bad set of ideas. I've had an off day today. Turned into something funny. All right? Turned into a rant that maybe some people need to hear. Right? Which is that this is the reality. No matter how smart you are, no matter how much you study, women, young. I went to a women in IT thing with an organisation that also opens themselves up to women who identify as women, but let's leave that one alone. Young fucking cybersecurity chick. I remember and I felt bad for saying it. And she's like, "Oh, I'm studying cybersecurity. What advice would you give for other women in IT?" And I said, "Just assume that you're going to have to work twice as hard. You're going to have to self-censor twice as much. You're going to have to basically fucking flirt with every dude that you ever fucking met in order to get anywhere." Right? And that's the reality of having to survive in fucking tech as a woman in this business. Is that you're going to have to fucking suck their dicks, right? Or be like 3 times smarter, work 3 times harder, and don't have children. That's what I said to her. Poor kid. She backed away slowly. But it's fucking true, right? It's the truth. Don't have kids. And like, this is the thing, right? And this is, okay, maybe it's a separate, okay, all right, let's abandon the topic of the stream. Let's just fucking go on a feminist fucking rant because it's brewing, right? Which is this fucking idea that this having it all, this liberal feminism fucking bullshit, right? That you can have it all. You cannot have it all, okay? You will pay a price, all right? Anyway, sorry about that. Stop telling women that they can do everything and that choosing to work or choosing their career doesn't have a cost, or that choosing their children doesn't have a cost. It's a lie. It's a lie. And stop telling people that. Sorry, for some reason I just got fucking upset. But it's the truth. And I won't delete this. I'm going to keep it here. Because people, for young mums out there, actually someone would ask me how I juggle kids with a business. And do you know what I would say? Get divorced. What's the best way to juggle kids in a business? Get divorced. Because you have 50-50 care. And at least then you get some time off to do work. Right? And I know that that's an uncomfortable truth, right? But it's true, right? If you make choices for your career at the expense of your children will grow up to resent you and hate you for that, okay? If you stay home, your children will grow up to resent you and hate you for making them the center of your world, right? If you try to juggle that and you try to juggle both, you're going to fail at both of them, okay? And that's just life as a woman, okay? This took a turn that I didn't expect, but I thought, let's talk about it, And I think in light of the pandemic as well, right? All of this stuff is that, again, this whole thing, Zoom calls. Oh, yeah, no, look, I get to work from home. I've worked from home for 10 years, right? It's no fucking picnic when you're constantly interrupted. You can't focus. You can't concentrate. At 2 p.m., you've got a 2 p.m. meeting and you're thinking, oh, I've got to do school. You got to cook. You got to make sure this stuff is, and even the best husbands in the world. I have an excellent one, right? Previous one wasn't so great, but this one is really, really good. Okay. And I think, this is the thing. Don't have kids. If you want a career, you can't have children. That's just how it is. And I know that's unfortunate. And I apologize to my children, but you hate me anyway, so fuck it. Damned if you do. And this is the lesson, right? Bad ideas. The thing about bad ideas, right? Okay, let's get back to the title. Is that it's okay to have a bad day. It's okay to have bad ideas. And there's pressure on women to be fucking sanitized and perfect and always looking like they've got it together. Okay? It's a lie. It's a confection. It's a concoction. It is fucking branding. All right? And all it does is make women hate themselves more because of all the things that we're not doing and not achieving and not doing well, right? The thing is that your kids are going to resent you no matter what your choices are, because we will never live up to the fucking image of perfection in their minds. And we will never live up to the image of perfection in society's minds. And even though that bar is set high, this is probably why I get so fucking mad at people being so horrible to Amy, Coney Barrett, right? This idea that's like, she's a fucking Supreme Justice. She's a Supreme Court Justice with 7 kids. And that should be something that is celebrated. But again, it's always just with the tearing down, right? The tearing down, you see it, right? And I've had this happen when I make choices where I prioritize my business. Oh, what are you doing that for, right? It's easy when you don't work to fucking be a better mum. Anyway, I'm ranting, but I'm just saying, right? Fucking let up on people, right? This idea that people can't just think and have a thought and work through some stuff, right? I shouldn't probably be working through my shit on a live stream. It just happened that way, right? And you do have to choose, right? And it sucks that we have to choose. I hate the fact that I have to choose. But the thing is, the thing is that if you do choose, you're going to have to pay for the choice. And that's the thing that society needs to fucking shift with. Don't tell women that they can choose and then punish them for the choices that they make. Okay? I chose my career. I chose to work the hours that I work. I chose to, prioritize certain things, right? Only to then be told I had a choice. See, I would actually argue that we don't have a choice. Right? I would argue that the pressure to make the right choices as breeders and fucking, nothing but broodmares, right? I mean, that's why I think there's this whole fucking gender movement, especially with just the way that they reduce women to their body parts. I think that there's some accidental truth in that, which is that's how men see women, as a sum of body parts. Not as a sentient human being that actually has desires and wants and aspirations beyond what their body functions can do, right? Beyond that attitude is just so obvious to men across the political spectrum that ultimately they see women as some of their body parts that are for the use of men, right? So I will not be called a uterus haver. Go fuck yourself, right? Men have never had to make this fucking choice. Anyway, that's fine. I'm sorry. I'm just fucking... It's just... I get frustrated with this idea that somehow, rather than seeing the things that I accomplish as intense successes, considering what fucking juggle that I do, only seeing what I don't get done and only seeing, like that. That's I think what women have to maybe The fact that I even got a university degree out of poverty and then postgrad and run a business and have somehow managed to fucking support myself without having to work 9 to 5 in a fucking, that's an accomplishment, right? Only for some fucking dude who's not even in my discipline to turn around and fucking, act like somehow I'm nobody because I don't have time. And I'm stuck, like I'm physically stuck in a city. Because if I went and did what most fucking ambitious men did and just decided that I was going to move to fucking New York City or move to, wherever my career could take me, there's a reason I came back. I came back to Perth not for a choice, okay? But because it was made so fucking horrible for me when I tried to fucking, it's just like, yeah, and I'm going to continue paying for that choice for the rest of my life, right? I think, sorry, it's still a bit raw because obviously I've got a child that's not talking to me and a fucking bunch of dudes that sit and mansplain to me around the clock. And then I've got fucking men that are more successful than me looking down on me like somehow I have not accomplished fucking immeasurable things despite odds, right? Because I thought that because I bought the lie when I was younger that if I got married and had children and I did the right thing, that maybe my husband would see me as more than fucking, a food receptacle and provider of fucking and care, right? And then when we get divorced, he turns on me and decides that if I don't fucking cater to his every fucking demand and whim, despite knowing that I always wanted a career, right? That and then started to use that to keep me here and use that, men don't get that, Anyway, I'm just saying it annoys me that I'm fucking looked down on in any other town if I had, and again, I love my kids, but let's be honest, if I'd had, that's another thing people should stop saying is having to qualify these things, these structural issues with like, I love my kids. Of course you do. But fuck, can we just be honest and say that there's an immense amount of pressure for women to have children before, and they're lied to, right? They're lied to about this thing, that we can have a career and children. If I had to choose, if I had known how explicit that choice was and how deep misogyny ran in this, in my generation, I thought we'd gotten past it. We haven't. Right? But if I had known, and again, I love you, my children, but I wouldn't have had them. This is the thing. It's a false choice. It's not a choice, right? It is a fucking, it's basically just fucking advertising so that they can make women feel more trapped than ever, more contained than ever, and more dependent on men than they've ever been, right? It's not a coincidence that we fucking now are dependent on 2-income households to buy a fucking house. So now women can't even make the choice. So now we have to consciously walk in to a fucking economic situation, having children, where our children are going to resent us. And then the state can come in and just undermine our parenting at any point and say, well, aren't you fucking... Now they can just actually just take you away for saying your kid's not transgender. Yes, it's happening, right? For not completely affirming their care. But you're forced to work to survive, and that kid hates you. You can't tell me that that's not related, right? That these things aren't fucking, this gender identity bullshit and all this mental health shit with kids is not it's not related, which is that a whole bunch of Gen X women were told we could have kids and have jobs without going in. We didn't give informed consent on motherhood, as far as I'm concerned, right? Because it was not set up for us, right? And that's just the fucking truth. Right. And I think that I don't care. Kids can turn around and say that the kids hate me anyway. So fuck it. Right. And now I'm with, we often talk about this. Like me and my husband are both like career people. Right. And if we had, and we often say that if we'd met at that time, we probably wouldn't have had any kids, right? It doesn't mean we don't love our kids now. It's moot. Of course. But we need to talk about this fucking lie that we're telling young children, right? That especially young girls, that they can have it all. Who wouldn't want to identify out of this shit? I know I fucking do. It's fucking tempting. Except I know that if I did, these dudes would not accept me as a man, like men are expected to accept, like the women are expected to accept men. So fucking, again, it's just another fucking double standard for the men and a different fucking standard for the women. Right? Men will always see trans men as women, and women are expected to always unquestionably accept men as fucking women. When men don't go through this, right? Because you get to fucking do whatever the fuck you want. You get to go and have your career and abandon your kids and fuck off, right? And then you get to decide that, then you get to change, and then you get to live your fullest life. Well, good for you. You get to live in your real fucking self. Meanwhile, leaving everybody else behind. Anyway, I know that I'm probably going to regret this stream, but I think it's just like, I think the fucking truth. Can we just start talking some fucking truth, right? About the reality of the women that are left behind by this movement, the women that are fucking destroyed by men, the women who, if they make an imperfect choice, society makes life fucking completely unbearable for them. No wonder women are fucking suffering from massive amounts of mental health problems. No wonder we've got an opioid crisis. No wonder we've got all of these things. Okay? And then they turn around and call us fucking Karen when we object. Fuck you. If my kids call me Karen, I'm going to start turning around and saying, yeah, well, I wish you were never born. I wouldn't do that. It's a joke. But fuck me. Right? Young women, don't have kids. If you want a career, don't have kids. And even if you don't have kids, you're still going to be less than. You're still going to have to work twice as hard. Right? This went badly. This went differently to what I expected. I needed to get it off my chest. But it's true. We need to stop lying to these kids. We need to stop lying to kids in general we need to start in general making truth at the center of everything that we do, because it is so important. Because there's these, kind lies, right? White lies that we tell people, oh, don't worry, dear. We've made progress. We've made progress as women. That's a lie. That's a lie. It's just changed and shifted. Oh, you want to work, do you? Well, what I'm going to do is put in a whole bunch of negative reinforcement that makes you regret it. And it makes the choice so insurmountable that you have to be the worst person in the world, or the ability to be characterized as the worst person in the world, or a narcissist, or all those fucking things. The selfish bitch who wanted a career, right? That's the reality of motherhood and work and actually doing anything. Anybody who is successful and says that they can do both, they are either incredibly privileged or lying. Okay? They are lying to you. They're trying to sell you something, right? I'm not trying to sell you anything other than a bit of self-esteem and understanding, and realize, and, hopefully you feel better knowing that it's not you, right? You're not failing. You're doing a wonderful job. Okay? It's the world that's fucked. All right? You're doing the best you can. And there's, fucking kids, stop being so fucking horrible to your parents, especially your mothers. How dare you be that way? And I say that not talking to my kids. I'm talking general. I love my kids. They're great. But I'm just saying, right? Again, why do we have to qualify that? I love my kids, but I love my kids. Yeah, of course I do. Everyone loves their kids, right? Everyone makes complicated choices, right? But, getting judged by people who don't fucking work, don't have a career, have nothing but a fucking high school, have never actually aspired to do anything special ever, and just sit around complaining, right? And then they fucking judge people who actually tried to overcome these things. It's like, fuck you. And then only to have the merit dudes turn around and say, oh, well, if you just worked a bit harder. It's like, I fucking can't work any harder. I cannot work any harder than I already do. I'm fucking exhausted. Right? Yes, Mel said, if all men are born free, then why are all women born slaves? Yes. Yeah, we've made progress. Right? Sorry, I think I got set off because he just wanted a coffee. But it was like, literally, I was like, I'm streaming in half an hour. He had half an hour. And then he's like, where's the milk frother? Where's the milk? We're going to get the thing. Oh, and it was like a minute before I was supposed to stream. And I know that's just kids. But, like, men don't go through this shit. Men don't have to, like, they don't have to fucking organise things and cater to everyone's feelings. And if you do want to say something, they can just say what they want to say without having to say, I love my kids, but. Or they have to, it's like, fuck me. Just get off our fucking dick. Get off my dick, all of you. All right? I've worked so hard and I am accomplished, even if I don't have a book or a PhD. All right? I've made it work. I've made my situation work. Right? And to the best of my ability. And like women should just start fucking backing ourselves. Right? And men should be paying us for our shit. Anyway. And acknowledging that we're fucking, like, this is where, like these fucking culture wars bros where they're just, these IDW, where they're like, oh, feminism, oh, radical, they just want equity. Yeah, we do. Because it is unequal. I am living proof that no matter how hard you work, you still end up in the middle in certain situations. I am absolutely right in front of you as proof. Right? If I had a dick, I'd have 3 PhDs, fucking 8 books, right? And be allowed to travel the world. I know this. There is a fucking complete A-B difference between fucking male and female. If I was a man saying this shit, right? You'd be like, the fucking super chats would be going and the fucking, I'd be like asked to speak and I'd be a CEO and all these things rather than just a problem child with a big mouth. Right? Who doesn't love her children. Anyway. This went off on a different direction than I expected. I just got ticked off. I'm just like, I just reach a point where, like, I just see the lies for what they are. Right? And if I just, maybe if I just stopped, now it's, if I just shut up and said that, like, men can be women, it would just be made a little bit easier for me. If I just complied, if I just went along with this, and if I just didn't say, see, this is part of the reason why now I'm just going fully and saying whatever the fuck I want, because people are telling me I can't. That's the reality. Like, that's the thing, is that, it wouldn't be, I wouldn't ordinarily I wouldn't necessarily in a professional setting recommend that someone express themselves like this, right? But because I am being told that I cannot do that, this is why I say whatever the fuck I want and I don't care. Because that's my last act of defiance and rebellion. Because I know that this is like this is the end of a long chain of me being fucking told that I have to compromise. And if I just compromise that little bit more or stop that thing or make that choice, right, that it would actually turn out for me. Or that I'd suddenly get that book deal, or someone would finally just introduce me to the right people, or someone might fucking, help me out a bit, or someone, like all of these things, right? There's just that little bit of dangle. If I just was a little bit more polite, or if I didn't swear, or if I just pretended to be a little bit dumber than I am, or if I just worked a bit harder, or I got that extra degree, or another degree, or I just fucking flirted a little bit more, or, wait till the kids are older, or, all of these things, right? If I just tried that little bit harder, and now I could be said, well, if I just don't say this thing, or I just don't say the truth, or I just don't talk about how I feel, or I don't brainstorm or be allowed to have some bad ideas from time to time, or a bad mood or whatever, right? Or have a bad day, go fuck yourself. I can have a bad day, I can have bad ideas, and you can't tell me that I'm going to fucking censor myself. There you go. I got back to the topic. because good ideas come out of this, right? Even if it just makes someone who's watching the replay feel better, or one of you feel better at the struggle, or some young kid watches this and goes, well, nobody's ever told me that I was going to actually pay the price down the track, right? All these people are telling me that I can both be Madonna, whore, and a fucking, mother. Madonna, whore, mother, career woman. You can't. It's fucking us up. You can't do both, right? You need to learn. And there will be a death of you in one area. Okay? That's the thing. It's not, and I'm not saying that you should choose your children, and I'm not saying you should choose your career. I'm saying you can't have both and do both well and achieve what you want. And you're going to get to the age of 41, like I am, and realize that you fucked up because you didn't do what you thought you were going to do, right? You thought you had the world ahead of you, and then you go, oh, okay, well, this happened. Only for some fucking dude to go, well, have you written a book yet? No, I haven't. No one will pay me. Oh, but women have to write their books for free because they love it, because it's a hobby. Men get fucking book deals or, the time to write a book. Fuck me. In my industry, women are considered, they do social media because they love it. They do digital because they love it. They do art because they love it. They do it for the love. In my industry, men are project managers and account managers that get paid, right? Women is just free emotional labor. So fuck off. I'm not doing it. Right? And that's the thing. I'm not doing it. So I apologize. This looks like a breakdown. It's not. You just got me on a fucking, you just got me at a moment where I was just a few things going at once. I'm worried about fucking other things going on. And it's just, yeah. Anyway, I just got set off. Anyway, I'm going to go. I am fine. It was a bit of a rant. And I got teary because it is hard. I think that's the thing. People need to accept and also be comfortable with some fucking woman actually having feelings and having a moment and being angry, right? And being comfortable with just someone being emotional. I'm sorry if it made you uncomfortable, but it is. It's just how it is. Okay? Is that every so often it hits you in your 40s that giving to everybody all of the time and constantly compromising what you want for other people ends in more compromising for other people, and you lose yourself, okay? And you lose what you want. And that's why this whole censorship thing is just because, the internet has always been an outlet. It still is for me. But, right now, that pressure to feel like I need to delete this thing because someone might get fucking upset. Well, so what? It's my feelings, it's my thoughts. And the internet, this is what I'm writing about in my book. Maybe it's because I'm a little bit raw, because I've also spent writing chapter 2 of my book. I've gone and revisited a lot of what I loved about the internet, right? Because I was a bit of a weirdo and I was a freak, and the internet was the way for me to escape all of this social shit, right? The internet was my escape, and now it is my oppressor. Right. And that's what I find, just it's not a space anymore. And maybe it is. See, this is the thing. By leaving this up, maybe I'm proving that it can be again. But it's changed. Right. This idea that somehow it is now potentially hate speech for me to just talk through and riff, or always worried about the optics. And that's another chapter in the book. We're all celebrities now, but always worried about the optics or how something's going to be received, or somehow that's been weaponized as me lacking empathy, when it's not. It's just fucking stream of consciousness and out process. Yeah, we go back to the beginning of the video. That sort of, I process by speaking things through and talking in circles and talking it out to the point where it's fucking annoying and exhausting for most people. But there needs to be room and space for that, because that's where good ideas come from, right? That's where intelligent thought comes from. That's where excellent ideas come from. When lots of people start talking fucking in circles and you go, oh, wow, There we go. Here's an idea. Here's a nugget of an idea. Let's build on that idea. And that used to be called fucking brainstorming. But now brainstorming is a heavily controlled, self-censored exercise with a fucking packet of post-it notes and a cunt standing in front of you making sure that you say only the right things. It's no wonder that fucking creativity and the advertising industry and fucking movie industry and all these things are in the toilet right now. It's not a coincidence that comedy is dying because we're not allowed to fucking say anything and see if it works. Because the good ideas come out of bad ideas. Right? They come out of better decisions come out of mistakes. Right? That's the hindsight. It's 2020, right? It's one of those things. We just fucking good ideas, better ideas, come out of mistakes and errors. And that's why I think by being a sort of crash test dummy that I've been for the internet, this is how I see this so clearly. When you're not allowed to make a mistake, when you are not allowed, it kills all thought. It kills creativity. At the end of the day, this is why it's so important to protect people's right to just fucking say what's on their mind, win, lose, or draw. Not just within the realm of comedy. Yes, I know that a lot of people are sort of, defending comedy, but it's what comedy represents, which is the ability, it's the process to say something that everyone else is thinking and build on that idea, even if it's wrong or bad, and it might not be funny. It might not be well received but it might get better. Right? You might make a mistake. You might fucking accidentally go viral for a fucking thing. But then you learn from that experience and you turn it into something that's advice for other people, which is what my book is, right? Because I've gone viral. That's how better ideas happen, right? You don't just get good ideas from a fucking Canva template. Great ideas come from original thought and bad thought and the worst thoughts. That's why there's a great book on writing, on Writing Down the Bones, Natalie Goldberg. The first thing you do when you write is stream of consciousness. It's called monkey mind. You just write for an hour. You keep the pen moving no matter what happens, and you just see what comes out, right? I sort of just bash the keyboard and my feelings come out, and I don't even know what I've thought or what I'm feeling until I've sort of written it, right? That's where creativity comes from. And the internet, some people like to do that in public. I like to do that stuff out in public and get new ideas and have it be an exchange. And when I say exchange, I don't mean mansplaining corrections. I mean an exchange of ideas where you build on someone's ideas rather than cutting them down. Okay? I love building ideas, right? Because great ideas do not come in, they're not in a vacuum. Okay, there's a process, and it is a painful process, and anybody who's trying to kill that process is my enemy. All right, there we go. I managed to get on that. There you go. I managed to show you. There you go. We came full circle, right? For fuck's sake. Right. And that's why I've sort of at a crossroads where it's like, do I delete old content? Because I'm thinking about sort of pursuing that clinical psych. And then I go, shit, that's going to look bad. What are the options? I go, no, because that is what led me there, which is this idea that I have to actually help these kids and I have to help people go through this process. I've identified the cults. And how can I fucking argue it if I don't show the process? I need to be allowed to go through a process of saying things and having wrong ideas. Like even the last video, I realized that I fucking didn't emphasize well enough that it's only the transgender policy is only in a juvenile, in Banksia Hill is a juvenile facility and it's already a mixed sex facility. I didn't emphasize that enough. I fucked up. I look stupid. Am I going to delete it and do it again? No, because I just correct it. You correct the record. You've got to be able to correct the record and build on it, right? One of the things that I love the most about a lot of I think COVID particularly, but also through this stuff where I've got friends in various places is, this idea that creatives come out with a finished product, right? Without excruciating process underneath it. It's an incredibly lonely, it's incredibly intense, it's incredibly painful experience to be creative and to be a creative person. Right? Especially things like, like watching people who are writing songs or doing art. They are people who bleed. Okay, they need to be allowed to bleed, but they shouldn't have to bleed on their own. They should be supported to be fucking allowed, because that's where this mental health stuff, this is where it's easy to become isolated and feel alone. And that's why this internet stuff is really important, because a big part of the thing that attracted me to the internet in the first place is that for the first time in my life, I wasn't fucking alone. I could actually just go to my friends in the fucking box and float some shit without being bullied or without being harassed or without being fucking, called a cunt by my family for thinking I was smart. Like, this is the thing. The internet is that was an escape for a lot of people. And now all these corporate cunts are now imposing all their shit on us. And they're not allowing us to bleed. But they're also demanding, on the other hand, that their agencies come up with creative and brave concepts. You can't have both. You can't have it both ways. There's no creativity without the bleeding and the pain. You end up with a fucking camel, and that's what we're seeing. We're seeing like the worst fucking like art. I reckon this period of time, we will see a real glut in culture as a result of this ideology, and eventually the dam will break, and then we'll see some great art. And that's what I'm hoping will happen. But fuck me, right? Like, let people have bad ideas and have a bad day. For fuck's sake. Like, I will walk into a room and I will say, I really like this thing. And then I will hear myself say it. And I know I'm different to other people, right? I process externally with words, right? I will say, and then I will literally 2 minutes later turn around and say the exact opposite thing. I will openly disagree with myself, right? And how would that be? If I was not allowed to explore that, that would drive you mad. It drives you mad. Okay? Anyway. Anyway. Sorry, that was a distraction. I hope this was I said I was going to go 15 minutes ago. It wouldn't be me without it. But I'm going to go, right? Go watch some Vibing Cat. My new favourite meme. I'm going to kill it. I'm going to make it. I'm going to kill it so bad that it's uncool. But I just, fuck me. Just get off people's dicks. Let them make mistakes. Okay? And if you're sitting there appointing yourself as the fucking perfection police, what have you got to hide? I reckon, like, what are you hiding? Because you're either tremendously dull and bland and nobody likes you, or you're hiding something. Okay? I'm going to just be open, authentic, vulnerable, and fuck yous all. And I'm going to say fuck yous all like an Aussie. And I don't care if you think I'm uneducated or uncouth or beneath you. Okay? I don't give a fuck. Because I know that I run circles around people. I'm going to go. Don't have kids. If you have the choice and if you want a career as a woman, think seriously about it. Okay? Do. And I that's just fact. All right? Because your children will resent you for the choices that you make, whether you like it or not. Okay? So you have to just get comfortable with the pain of being like despised or like not liked by your children for the choices that you've made. And, that's what it is. To be a parent is to fail. And that's just how it is. So anyway, I'm going to go. Thomas is on Periscope commenting. I don't know. I don't think they came through. But he said, no kids, damn it, I'm making one right now. Don't do that. Don't do that. Oh, gosh. All right. So I'm going to go. Fucking, it's not you. You're doing well. You're doing great. All right? Whatever your choices are, you're doing great. We're all doing the best we can do in this fucked up system, right? And one day we'll get to write books and have choices and women will, but you can't identify out of this. And that's the thing. You think I wouldn't? In a shot? If I knew that it would work? It won't work. You can't identify out of being this, out of the way society views us. So I'm going to go. I love you. I forgot to put Vibing Cat on the fucking end screen. But that's all right. I love you. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye. Oh, also, I don't know if my donation form works. It works when I test it, but I've had a few people fill it out and it not go through. I don't know what's going on. If you've tried to, just email me and let me know if it's not worked for you because I can't, I don't know what's going on. Anyway, I love you. Bye.